Hey y'all, welcome back to the Anna Freaks podcast. I'm your host today, Miss T, and I have here with my friend, Mr. Scales of Life. How y'all doing today?
I'm blessed. How about you?
I can't complain today. I really can't complain today. So, Scales, you know how I feel about reviews and whatnot. So today we're gonna do a review on the Disney's Plus Moon Knight.
Okay.
So So, just to give y'all a little backstory, Moon Knight is a fictional character in a American comic book published by Marvel Comics, of course, and he first appeared in Werewolf by Night, issue number 32. Now, Scales, do you know anything about Moon Knight and what is different from the comic versus the adaptation on Disney Plus?
Well, aside from, I guess they putting it as they're making him about as, well, I guess say about as real as possible. Is by design, he's actually not too far off from his actual comic book counterpart. I just want to see how his actual actions are gonna be. Like I say, kind of like putting it in comparison to like how he is towards Batman. Like I say, like how most people used to say, or even possibly
Mm.
do. It's like it's just the overall action that I want to see, plus the dialogue. I've never heard Moon Knight, actually speak. I really didn't know too much about him until about 3 years ago. So I said that's kind of like
Well,
been off and on.
Well, I know, like I've never really heard of Moon Knight, so when I first saw it on Marvel, I thought it was gonna be a movie. I was like, "Oh, this is another movie," and not, "Oh, this is a new character," because I'm kind of tired of looking at the Avenger characters. Y'all, come on, Disney, put out some new faces out there. It's not hard. So you know me, I do my research and whatnot, and like come to find out from doing my research and getting to know Moon Knight a little better and watching it from the Disney Plus standpoint. Like I did watch Marvel's Assemble where they went behind the scenes of Moon Knight and
Yeah,
how they got the costume and stuff like that together, and I compare and contrast with it. And I have to say, when I was watching the animation, I did like it because it took me through a whirlwind of like what is going on. Like this is getting so confusing for it to make sense in the end.
yeah,
And my favorite part really is the hippo scene when Steve and Mark uh find the hippo. I forgot which goddess it was in Egyptology. Y'all forgive me. Write it down
I
in the
know who you're
comments
talking
for me,
about,
please
though.
and thank you. Yeah. And when they started screaming, that was like the most funniest part throughout the whole thing. Even though the whole adaptation was funny and at the same time it was serious, but I like the concept that it was also dark enough for Disney.
Yeah, I am kind of thinking about this, even though they are partnered with Disney. What do you think the actual limits or the lines would actually be for them to possibly take it about as near dark if they could?
Now, for those who don't know, this is Moon Knight is about a man named Steven or Steve. You want to call him Steve for short, but really it's about Mark. And Mark
Yeah,
has two personalities, which is Steven, and then there's the mystery, you know,
right.
other personality at the end that you meet who is actually an assassin. So he has three different, personalities. So he has personality disorder. But at the same time, you see more Mark and Steven before you see the third personality. Now, I do encourage people to go watch Moon Knight on Disney Plus. It was really good. It was really good.
It actually
And
is.
it is. And versus, going comic book wise and stuff like that, I like how they switched it up but still kept the same. But back to your question, I do want it to continue to go on the path that it's going. Kind of stay dark but not too dark because in the comic book it really is dark versus how it is in the live adaptation of it. But I still wanted to keep that horror thriller kind of comedy sense. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, I can see it going that exact same direction too. It's just all about how they actually want to run it that way. Because I'm all game for it. Like, like I say, hook me up with it and everything, and I can actually just take flight with it.
I like it the simple fact because I love uh Egyptology. I love like
Yeah,
looking at the holographics, the gods and whatnot because I'm big on Greek mythology. So my love
yeah.
for cause my love for that, it brought back like those old feelings as a kid when I used to look at holographics. I hope I'm saying it right, y'all. Like me and my tongue being
English, English, English.
be quiet, MK. Be quiet. Anyway, but it took me back because I remember like in the school trip they took us to like the Pink Palace or something like that, and I had my name carved out in a cartouche, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And I got kind of sad because I ended up losing it. I ended up losing it. I was very sad about that. I was very sad about that. But
I never could get that
just to
lucky.
see, man, and just to see that they had put so much design and so much care into the costumes, especially because there's two different costumes. For those who don't know, like there's the gentleman for Steven, there's gentleman Moon Knight, and then there's actual Moon Knight for Mark. And I love that each costume has so much detail in it. And like if you really looking at the detail, it is phenomenal.
Yeah, I was paying a whole lot of attention to the detail of the actual costumes themselves. I was basically thinking in my head like this is pretty much like 99.9999999% complete right here. All they have to do is just give it the straight up, go ahead, the go to and everything, and it's gonna be boom. It's gonna be like the next biggest thing as long as they treat it right and do it right.
And I mean, like, and all in all, from watching it from episode one all the way through, I give it 9.5 stars because I know if they do a season two, because they have to do a
Yeah.
season two. I will be game for it. I am there for it. I really am. I really think Moon Knight can really go somewhere, just like Loki and whatnot. I want it to succeed.
Same here. Because that's one of the, like I said, that's one of the many few things you really just don't see too much. And just imagine this. Now we know off of this one that at a point in time that Hawkeye he had his show going right.
Yeah.
What if those two actually started doing cameos? Think about it. I don't know if
Well,
Hawkeye show is actually still going, but if it is and everything, they could actually kind of like draw him over, seeing the fact that they too also have like a little bit of history behind each other.
fun fact: Moon Knight was a part of the Avengers.
Yep.
That is a fun fact right there. Moon Knight was part of the Avengers at one point in time, but so you know, I wanted I want Moon Knight to have a season two because him having these three different personalities, like he has. Okay, Mark is the original, the original person of Moon Knight, but he has also personality named Stephen Grant, and then the third one is named Jack Lockley, and then of
Either
course
Jack or
he's
Jake,
Moon
one
Knight.
of the two.
Jake, Jack,
Yeah, I think it is.
the,
Just one of the two.
Jack, whatever. Say it how you want to. But
Okay.
those the three personalities that the two personalities that Mark has. but you mostly
Right.
see Mark and Steven. You don't see, Jake until like
Right.
later on. And he's the one that does all the dirty work for Mark and Steven, the one that can't, Mark and Steven like, nah, man, we ain't gonna kill him, and Jake or Jack, whatever, is like, psh, I take care of pains.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me. But I do want Moon Knight to have a second season. I do want to see more of um the Secret Avengers. I do want to see different characters from Moon Knight. So please, y'all, if y'all some big, Marvel fans like me and who love discovering, new characters and whatnot, I really do suggest y'all go and watch Moon Knight. And, give it your own personal thoughts, compare and contrast. But still, fall in love with it at the end of the day because it's really good.
Yeah. I can see it having more seasons as well because that would actually give out more time to actually explore like the differential personalities within him. Or I guess say basically all three of them kind of like working in this little slight trifecta and I guess, in selection, and that would actually make it more comical in a slight way because it's almost like looking at like, okay, who am I talking with today, or I guess say, who am I fighting today, and I guess say like who are we actually going to take down? And it's kind of like a battle between the first two, and the last one just be like, just come about and be like, you know what, forget it, pa, that's it, problem solved.
Yeah, because like we need more content like that besides like I can't stress this enough. Like I do not want to see no more Iron Man, no more Hawkeye, no more, Captain America. Like I'm done. I want to see new faces. I want to see new faces of Marvel. Please, please give us new faces of Marvel.
Yeah, I mean it's like
So
kind of like pulling it from here. They both, like I guess, between both Marvel and DC, if I had to say, it depends on what they actually want to market or make money off of. That they could possibly, not possibly, that they usually just run off of like I say, tier A, B, C, and maybe D characters. They just don't run the rest of the actual, alphabet from that. And it's like when they realize the arsenal that they actually have and fully utilize it, that's an actual dangerous feat right there. I'm looking at it, I guess it's kind of like putting it like this. If you come out on strong with, majority of the actual, like I say, backing up to Moon Knight here, imagine his actual villainy chart. Like I say, his antagonist here. Can you imagine what they would act? I guess not what whom they would break out with first, and then actually engage, like into the ultimate climax of it. Not to kill them off, because that's the last thing you actually want to do. You don't want to kill off your villains before you can actually make like repeat turns with them and everything, and then eventually like have one mysteriously disappear and then they come back some episodes later.
yeah. So all in all scales, what is what is your review rating of Moon Knight?
Let's see, you gave it a 9.5, or I say
Yep,
9.5. I give it, you know what? I give it about a 9.8. I'll give it that.
9.8.
Yep.
So there you have it, folks. 9.8, 9.5. Moon Knight is almost at a 10. That should
Oh yeah.
tell y'all like it's really good. It's really good. Come on, you know, go watch it and give it your own ratings. And thank y'all again for joining us at the Anna Free Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and leave us a comment or two. And we will see y'all next time.
Peace out.